This is our dying video.
Yeah.
It was nice knowing you, world.
Sort of.
Not really.
Not really. Mostly bullshit.
Yeah. Thank you, Satan.
In the afternoon hours of December 7th, 2017, an Australian couple was making their way to their vacation rental on the north shore of Hawaii. They were excited for a relaxing stay in paradise. However, when they opened the door, they entered onto the scene of one of Hawaii's most grisly and horrific crimes. Before they could even process what they were seeing, they heard footsteps upstairs. In the 1990s, Brazilian woman Telma Boinville made a huge life decision to move to Hawaii. She loved the laid-back vibe of island life. She was also super outdoorsy and health conscious, so she fit seamlessly with the active lifestyle many Hawaiians enjoy. She became an avid surfer, yogi, and loved going on runs while taking in the breathtaking views on the island of Oahu. She settled on the North Shore, and over the years, she would become an important part of her community. She married a local, became a favorite teacher at Sunset Beach Elementary School. She participated in many local activities, from martial arts to surf days. Her mother-in-law described her as the most beautiful person on the North Shore. She had many friends, and those that knew her said she had a pure soul and would do anything for those that she loved. But sadly, on December 7th, 2017, she would be confronted with two individuals whose souls were pure evil. 2017 started off like any other for Telma, another year in paradise. Her daughter, Makana, was 8 years old and really embracing island life with her parents. The family of 3 was thriving. Towards the end of the year, Telma and her husband, Kevin, began discussing an upcoming vacation. They wanted to do something fun, so they decided on a snowboarding trip. Telma worked as a teacher, but wanted to earn some extra money to put towards the trip. So she chose an easy side gig that she could fit around her schedule and family life. She would clean rental properties in preparation for the guests that would be arriving. It was a convenient side job because she lived in an area with tons of rental homes that were constantly receiving tourists. And December 7th was no different. With Christmas right around the corner, many travelers were coming to Hawaii as a winter getaway. Just after lunchtime, Telma stopped off at this rental home on Keiki Road in Pupuakea on the North Shore. The new renters were scheduled to check in at 3 p.m. Telma was just stopping by to tidy up and put out some fresh flowers, not expecting to be very long. She brought her daughter Makana along and had Makana stay in the truck and watch a movie. It was a very safe and close-knit community, so for Makana to sit in the car with the movie was normal, completely safe. Nobody in all of Hawaii could have predicted the random act of evil that was about to take place. Telma had no time to react. Seconds after entering the home, she was face to face with 2 people who had just broken into the house. Stephen Brown, who was 23 at the time, and his girlfriend Haley Danduran, who was 20, were both from the mainland and only recently moved to Hawaii when they met each other. People that knew them would say Stephen was weird and there was nothing remarkable about Haley. It's unknown what brought these evil misfits to the Pupuakea rental home other than opportunity. As soon as they realized Telma had entered the house, they immediately had a confrontation. Telma told them they had to leave, but the 2 monsters ambushed her, forcing her to the ground, where they bound her hands and feet. They proceeded to senselessly murder her in the most brutal of ways, beating her to death with multiple items, including a baseball bat, hammer, machete, and other weapons. As soon as they were finished, Haley took off Telma's earrings from her beaten and bloodied body and put them in her own ears. The deranged duo wasn't finished yet. Telma's daughter Makana was blissfully unaware of what was happening as she sat patiently in her mom's truck watching a movie. When out of nowhere, a scary boy with green hair came out of the house and straight up to Makana. He told her that, quote, "We just killed your mom," and proceeded to force her inside the house. The level of terror that she must have felt is unimaginable. Stephen carried her to the 2nd floor of the home where he and Haley tied the 8-year-old up in an upstairs bedroom and duct taped her mouth. It's speculated that the arrival of the Australian tourists spooked the 2 killers and they fled in Telma's truck. Word of the horrific murder of Telma and kidnapping of Makana spread like wildfire in the small community. Social media was flooded with descriptions of the people seen in Telma's gold Toyota truck, and there were dozens of people pleading for anyone to come forward with information. Even famous surfer Kelly Slater went to social media to raise awareness. Pretty quickly, images of Stephen were being circulated online as a prime suspect, his green hair making him easily identifiable. After reports of seeing Telma's truck in a Walmart parking lot hours after the murder took place, police quickly made their way to the scene, where they were cheered on by a crowd of locals, as they swiftly put the two killers under arrest. They had been inside Telma's truck, still covered in the blood of Telma. Disgustingly, Haley was not only wearing the dead woman's earrings, but she was also wearing Makana's stolen backpack, and found inside her pocket was Telma's bank card. Upon being arrested, both individuals expressed a level of guilt, Haley telling an officer, quote, "Can you just pull your gun out and shoot me in the head? My life is over after today." And Stephen telling an officer, quote, "Just shoot me, I deserve this." Following their arrests, police took them to the hospital for evaluations. While they were there, police were attempting to put tape on Stephen's hands to preserve any DNA on them. Stephen responded to the police officer's actions by saying, "I know what you're doing. If you're not going to help me, I will help myself." And he disturbingly began licking the dried blood of Telma from his hands. Among their charges were kidnapping, second-degree murder, and robbery. Stephen's bail was set at $1 million, and Haley's at $500,000. The prosecution made the decision to try them separately, and after 5 years and dozens of delays, the first trial finally began. The amount of times the trials were delayed was extremely frustrating for Telma's family, as they just wanted justice and to put this horrible event behind them.
We deserve justice. What happened to my wife? She didn't deserve that. We didn't deserve that. We're a good family.
Finally, Stephen Brown went to trial in January of 2023. His defense was pathetic. He claimed to have found God while in jail, yet he was still too much of a coward to admit what he'd done. He tried placing all the blame to his girlfriend at the time, Haley. He told the jury that his first instinct was to run, and he left Haley alone with Telma while he went to look outside. And when he came back, Haley had killed her. The prosecution easily shot this down. The evidence just didn't support his story. He was also the only one with the physical size and strength to overpower Telma. He claimed he only got her blood on him when he checked her for a pulse. This didn't explain what police found in the home. They found above the door frame the word Axel written in Telma's blood. Axel was Stephen's nickname that he gave himself. To further put an end to his pathetic attempts to deflect, Makana testified in court, and she bravely ID'd him as the one who came to the truck and told her they just killed her mom. The testimony from Makana was heartbreaking.
He came to the truck and grabbed me.
Do you remember what he told you?
Yeah, we killed your mom. And they took me into a bedroom where they tied me up.
Identifying critical evidence recovered from the scene, the two identifying these pictures of Brown and girlfriend at the time, Haley Dandurand, as the prime suspects.
How sure are you that the boy and girl in that picture are the same boy and girl who tied you up?
100%.
Even officers broke down on the stand when recalling the scene at the house that afternoon. After 2 weeks of trial and less than 4 hours of jury deliberations, Stephen Brown was found guilty of murder, 2 counts kidnapping, and burglary. He showed no emotion as the verdict was read. He's facing a life sentence, hopefully with no parole. As for Haley, her trial is set for next month in July of 2023, where I'm sure she's going to try to blame Stephen for everything. And while it will help her that the prosecution in Stephen's case used his size and strength as reasons that he was the aggressor, her defense will surely have a hard time explaining the heinous act of wearing Telma's earrings and Makana's backpack. As for Telma's family, they're left to pick up the pieces. Her husband, Kevin, is active on social media and regularly pays tribute to Telma and posts about the resiliency of the family and how they continue to celebrate life, just as Telma always did. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.